And hello, we are in Mayflower, Arkansas with Jim Schenkel. He is with Pastor Walt Hollis of Lifeline Church in Mayflower, Arkansas. And Jim, can you tell us why you were there?
Yes, thank you very much, Susan. What we're doing is talking with Pastor Hollis. We're going to talk about his church, what happened. I mean, they were right in the path of the tornado as it came across Interstate 40 here in Mayflower. So what I'd like for him to do, I mean, there's so much we could talk about, but what I want him to talk about right now is what was going on when you found out about it. I mean, it's a fascinating story there. And then what's happened over the last few days. I mean, sure, everybody, of course, is in a state of shock because of what happened a little over a week ago. But Pastor Hollis, welcome to talk to us, and just tell us a little bit about yourself, your church, and what happened to you Sunday night and in the next couple of days after that.
Okay, thank you. We usually have life groups on Sunday nights, and normally they're in the home. These sessions run 6 to 8 weeks, and then we'll take a break and we'll start a new session. This time, for some reason, we decided to have one of the groups here at the church. So that group, along with myself, we were here at the church Sunday night with that life group doing that session. And we left here probably around 10 after 7, something like that, and I headed home. Just as soon as I got home, my neighborhood was hit with the tornado. It came across within 2 blocks of my house. There are probably 20, 30, 40 houses completely gone. Mine sustained quite a bit of damage, but the structure's still good with that, and I obviously made it through that storm. But then I got a call from actually a text from one of our church members asking me if I knew the church was gone. And I said no, because I wasn't getting good cell phone reception anyway. But he took a picture and texted it to me, and obviously with video you'd be able to see behind us what the destruction was. And then on Monday morning, after things sort of calmed down, I got evacuated out of my area because of gas leaks. But the next day I came back, and when I got here about 9 o'clock on Monday morning, there were probably 10 to 20 church members already here trying to dig some of our personal stuff out of the rubble. And we were able to salvage quite a bit of the stuff. We don't know how good it is because a lot of it's electronic sound system type stuff. But we got a lot of that out. There were church members standing in the parking lot crying. You know, it's a pretty emotional time when all that happened. But also we had in place, we leased this building, so the only thing that we lost here were our contents. And we already had in place the plans and the land and everything to build. We were going to try to raise funds over the next 18 to 24 months to make that happen. And of course, we don't have 18 to 24 months now. The superintendent of the high school here offered us the high school auditorium to use in the meantime. So we were there Sunday morning, which was quite an emotional service because, there was a great loss. But I had preached the Sunday before on Nehemiah rebuilding the walls, that Sunday morning before the walls came down. I thought it was all spiritual, but obviously it wasn't. It had some physical aspect to it. So I recapped some of that on Sunday morning. But Nehemiah said, the story, as many of you will know, they came to him and said the temple's been rebuilt and worship has been restored to the temple. But the Bible said that he wept because the walls were still down. Well, Sunday morning I took that same thought and I said, we're back in the temple. It's an auditorium of the high school, but we're back in the temple. Worship is restored today, but we're still weeping because the walls are down. So it was a very emotional time. Our local state newspaper was there. They wrote a really good article on us. They stayed through the whole service. They want to follow up with us, keep up with where we go and what we do. So we have been given an infinite amount of time, to stay, at the high school. We can stay there as long as we want to. So once that we jump through all the hoops and make the things happen to start building, we're going to build, and we've already been prophesied over, said that it's going to be greater than it's ever been, and we're just believing that because I know that even in this bad situation, there's been lives lost, property lost. but God can always take something bad and make something good out of it. And we're just expecting to be on the good end of this when it's all over.
The first thing that you told me when we talked was that you were blessed because nobody in your congregation was hurt in this event. You left 20 minutes before. It was like 7 o'clock on Sunday night, I understand, of the 27th. And that how about as far as any of your congregation members in their homes? Did members lose their homes? Anybody get hurt in the tornado itself in their neighborhoods?
We have a youth service on Wednesday nights. It's youth only. And we have a lot of kids that come here. Some of their parents don't even attend church here, but a huge youth program. And there was some of the houses of our youth that were completely wiped out, but none of them were injured in that. Of our membership, none of the homes were completely wiped out. None of the members hurt in any of that. But there was quite a bit of damage sustained. So that's also an emotional factor that's happening within our congregation. Is not only is our church gone, as far as the building, but some homes it's taken a lot of work to get it all rebuilt and redone.
What about as far as outside assistance? I mean, what kind of things have happened so far? What kind of things do you hope happen over the next few weeks?
I've been completely overwhelmed by the support coming from people I don't know. We had a call from a representative for Yamaha music equipment out of New York. They're sending us a keyboard to use for a year at no cost. Someone out of Pensacola, Florida called me. They're sending us a complete sound system to use for a year at no cost. And I've had people, I had one man call me from Idaho or somewhere way up northwest, said he hadn't been in Arkansas in 50 years, but he had a relative buried in our cemetery and he wanted to help. Asked me for an address. He wanted to send money. We've already received that. People are sending money to our website. We have a website where you can donate.
Can you give that website address?
Yes, it's lifelineofmayflower.com.
Lifelineofmayflower.com.
And if you click on the donation button, there is on the home page, there's article about the tornado and tornado relief, and there's a donation button in that article, and there's a donation button on the top of the page, and you can go there. There's a place for tithe, offering, missions, building fund. You can just do offering, and you can donate there. We went on something that I didn't know about called GoFundMe.com, and we put our site on there, and we just see what will happen with that. One of our biggest things right now, and it's, somebody said that it's hard to say this, and it really is, but funds right now is our biggest need because we weren't ready to build and we're going to have to build. So funds are the biggest thing that could help us. We've had teams from all over Arkansas come and help with the cleanup and getting our stuff together and hauling it and storing it and all of that. So we've had all kind of physical help, and now we just need the finances to build.
One thing you mentioned, of course, is the building itself and being able to relocate, but immediate needs. I mean, what are some of the things that, before the building gets built that y'all need to get replaced? And is there any estimate of how much that is that you need to be able to get to, operate over the next month and then 6 months and that sort of thing?
With all of the help that is poured in, there's no immediate need because with the high school, we have our chairs provided. With the sound system being sent to us, we have all of that provided. The sound system, people are sending it to a guy in Little Rock that sets up sound system. He's going to come set it up, show us how everything operates. So we're good on all that. All the musical instruments have been donated. So we don't have an immediate need. All of our needs right now are long range for the building process.
Okay. Jim, we have a couple of questions down here in the panel. I'm wondering if we can participate.
Sure. I appreciate your stepping in. It's like I said, with the wind and the interstate coming by, it's difficult to hear. But go ahead. I'll put your.
Yeah, I know. Scott has a question for you.
Right,
sure.
Go ahead.
Pastor Hollis, you and your congregation has been through just a terrific amount recently. I was wondering, what have you learned or what have you experienced in terms of community, both the larger community and then also your church community through all of these experiences that you had?
Great question, Scott.
Well, I'll go from church community to city community to nationwide community. Church community, there's been a unifying like we've not had as a church, and it's sort of crazy to even see people that weren't really totally connected have connected. Some people that had just sort of phased out came back Sunday. I mean, it's just the unification of that. My phone won't stop ringing from members calling, saying, what can I do to help? All of this happening. And then into the city has pulled together. Our local surrounding cities have pulled together. Some of the churches locally have had people out here every day with teams cleaning up. The subdivision that I live in was highly wiped out. There have been teams in there just pulling people's stuff out of the rubble and doing all. It's been an amazing thing that has happened with the community. And then going nationwide, I've had so much support. Friends of mine, friends of friends of mine have called. People I don't even know are sending money. I mean, it's just an amazing thing that is taking place. It's great.
Scott, excellent question. You said you've got a couple of them there, Susan?
Yeah, I was wondering maybe we can cover it in a minute. I think we should revisit this whole topic and make a list of ways anybody across the country can help. And maybe we can all, 3 of us or 5 of us, get together and talk about that online in the next show to make it very easy for people to choose to make a difference.
Yes, I agree. What we'll do is we'll chop this up into 2 or 3 segments because there's so much to be said, and we'll keep them kind of short. One of the real significant ones is when we're going to go over and talk about his business and with his son and discuss the impact on local businesses when something like this happens and how they're affected. There are things that people are doing that sound really good that don't necessarily help. So there's some advice or some ways that we believe the pastor and his son can talk about that we can help. So what we'll do, I think, is a great idea, Susan, about making a list of some things that we can do to help. We'll put them on the website and then go from there. So you want to cut it off at that point, and then we'll just do the same title with part 2.
All right, Pastor Hollis, thank you very much. We'll talk to you in a few minutes and continue putting together a game plan so people can help.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Susan.